What's up, guys? Make this video to kind of show our little operation. Right now we have a 5 Yorkshire pigs. Have a couple different sizes. These two, this one we actually just raffled off for $1,000. We did 25 slots. So we're gonna get rid of this one, I think, next week. And then the next one that we're gonna raffle is this one. But yeah, so this is kind of what we do. So I live 2 hours from here, and in front of my house there's an older couple that has, like, they plant a bunch of like squash, tomatoes, a bunch of different things, and we watch their property to make sure nobody like steals their produce. So they give us, anytime they have leftover stuff, or if it gets too big and they can't sell it or whatever, they actually just, I mean, we have to go pick it ourselves. But so we usually will bring 5 or 7 bucketfuls of different squash, zucchini, whatever. And so every time we bring a lot, we actually just leave them here, and then whenever we come out, we only come out maybe 4 times. I mean, once every 4 days or 5 days, and then I just chop them up, and then they like it. So this is kind of what we do. But yeah, I've already made a couple videos on our little pig corral that we have, but I'm gonna give you guys another video with like a little bit more in depth of how we do things. So this is that trailer with the water tank that I had posted in my last couple videos. The tire actually blew out after I made that video. Coming back up. So once it gets a little bit lower, whenever we use a little bit more water, I'm actually gonna come replace this. I just didn't want to lift it up in a weird spot or something happened to the water tank, so I'm just gonna wait till it's more empty. But basically I got these nipples off of Amazon. I want to say they were like $25 for 4 of them. Same thing with this. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but I got it on Facebook Marketplace. I got these and these 2 little red ones. I think these are 10 gallons or something, maybe 15 gallons. Can't remember. But got those and this at the same time. Second. Let me see. It's still pretty full, and this is after I think 5 days. I did one, so these are a little bit higher, and then that one I did lower, and I did these like shoulder height, so the pigs only lean over a little bit, and that works from when they're younger to when they're basically ready to butcher. And then I did one lower because one day we because I originally only had 3 nipples on, but it got too low, and so I just decided to put this lower one, even though it's super uncomfortable for them to like drink from. It gives them like, I don't know, 20 more gallons of water that they can use. But basically this is what I do. So get these little hoses from Home Depot. This thing right here, I ordered it from Amazon. I was originally going to build one from Home Depot, like different parts and stuff, but it was cheaper. I think this was only like $20 on Amazon, so I ordered that. But basically this is what I do. 1 second. Over here. Alright, and you open it up. And there she goes. But yeah, this is it rained, so it's a little muddy. Usually we'll come here and And today I'm just gonna kind of go through kind of quick and feed them and get going. But we'll usually go through. I got some rakes and stuff here. They'll poop on this side, but I'll go through, rake the whole corral, put it in this wheelbarrow, and then I just go dump it out there. And yeah, this is it. It took us like 2 weekends to get this done. So I went and got these from Tractor Supply. They were like 30 bucks, I think. And we kind of did it like this. We did it 16 wide by 30 long, just because these cattle panels are 16 feet long. So that's kind of why I decided to do it this way. And it worked out pretty good. I mean, it's a good size. And then we're going to end up building different corrales going this way, so that it's all 16 wide going that way. And then if we want to make them twice as big, then we'll just do 30 by 30 and kind of keep that same idea going, just so that whenever we go to load more pigs or goats or whatever we decide to do, we can actually just put a gate, and then you'll have these little hallways or chutes or whatever you want to call them, for us to be able to load and offload any livestock. This, I originally I bought it from my neighbor because I was going to use it, because I wasn't going to have this ready in time when from when we ordered the pigs or whatever. But ended up not even using it, so we're gonna end up using it for a chicken coop, which we're gonna end up putting somewhere over here or something. And yeah. And another thing, I think I mentioned it in a different video, but the reason I want to make them all kind of in a line like this, because on this side, so which this is the south side of the property, so right here where we are, we're kind of like in the northwest corner of our property. We have 20 acres, but I want to, every time I pull up with the trailer, because we don't have water on the property yet, I want to pull up with the trailer and just hit the different stations and have all the watering, whether it's a trough or a 55-gallon, whatever, on this side. I can just stop, fill it. Same thing with the feed. The feed's on that side. Right now for the pigs, it's on this front side. But for the rest of the animals, I'm going to try to do them on the north side, just so that any feed that we have is going to be on that side. And then the reason we went, hold on, let me just double check the water real quick. But the reason I faced this opening that way, oh yeah, we're still good. I saw a video before I got my pigs, because we have chickens and we have goats and stuff. But where we had goats, we were actually renting a property. We were renting 3 acres from somebody, and they had a barn, and so we were able to use their barn and stuff. But here we kind of just built our own whatever shelter for the pigs. I saw a video before we built ours, and they said, so we're in Utah, so we actually get a pretty good amount of snow here. This is Fillmore, Utah, so I'm like kind of in the middle. I'm not like super far north where we get like a bunch of snow, like Park City gets a bunch of snow, and that's where I actually work. But out here it's not as bad. But anyways, I saw a video of this guy that said, when you build your shelters, try to face them in the direction that the sun comes out. That way in the winter, they get the sun first thing in the morning. So the sun's gonna kind of beam in and kind of warm them up a little bit. I might end up closing this a little bit more, but we'll see. I still got to come back. My freaking truck broke down, so I haven't been able to bring any more lumber. But we're gonna end up kind of closing this off, which we could use different wood, but I think I'm just gonna, just for aesthetics, just do the 2x6x10 or whatever size it is. Kind of fill it up all the way. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's good for them because they're like, the wind's getting blocked off. Usually the wind comes from that side this way and this back corner. So once that's blocked off, they're gonna be pretty all right. They've already got rained on a couple times, and this is, I mean, it's freaking dry, so it's pretty good. And then so back to the way we built it. So we did, you know, it's 16 wide, and so we did basically every 8 feet we did a post, and these are 8-foot posts, and we put them in like 2.5 feet deep, which I think in Utah you're supposed to go down under 3 feet. But the dirt is super hard here, and you know, whatever, they're pigs, and I think they'll be fine. Plus we used 2 80-pound bags of Quikrete on each one, and I think it was a 4,500 psi concrete. So I think it's okay. Plus we're tying them in together, so we're not completely done. So we ended up, you know, we're doing 2x6. The 2x6s on the bottom. That way they don't, you know, when they start to, like, they try to dig up or whatever, they don't go underneath and escape. So we're actually doing one on the bottom, and then we're gonna end up doing one on top. And then this is what I did for the solution on the gate. So this one's actually super warped, so I'm gonna cut this, but this is thicker than the other posts. And I just picked this up from Tractor Supply. I think I paid like $150 for that gate. And you basically, what you do is just drill into the wood a little bit, and then you screw this in, and you have to, when you drill it in, you have to use a smaller drill bit than the actual screw or hinge or whatever, because these look like screws. They have, you know, that like swirly thing, whatever. And basically we just hung it. I ended up doing this one upside down, which was kind of a pain in the ass because I had to take these brackets off and play with it. But I did that because the pigs will actually stick their snout underneath and lift it up so they can get it up and off. So if you do one upside down and one regular, it'll still swing, but they can't take it off of the hinges. Let's go check on the water real quick. But you could see they have a little mud pit right there. Every once in a while too, we'll actually go through and clean the inside, because sometimes it gets a little, let me turn this off. It'll get a little dirty on the inside. So we'll actually just dump it out, or if it rains, then the water actually collects right there because they've been kind of digging in right there. But back to the setup. So like I was saying earlier, so I did 8 foot on center roughly. I mean, I try to get it as best as I could, but I did that, and then I added just one extra one in the center, right? So that it's like, it's the rectangle plus this one right here. And I did that so that I could just screw, basically, so that like the whole outside of the corral is part of the building itself. So it's not like the corral plus another building, and it's kind of just saved me a little bit of time to do it this way, just adding an extra post and then making that part of it. And then here I don't have any cattle panel, but the deck screws that I use, I think they're rated for like 150 pounds each. So I mean, that's 300, 600 pounds of pressure, which they're not really pushing forward. And you want to use 2x6s, or I wouldn't even go down to 2x4s, because 2x4s aren't as strong as 2x6s. And that's just so that if they lean on them, they don't, it won't break as easy, and they can't chew it as easy as you would be able to with like plywood and stuff. These, we actually use them for anytime you need to move them or load them. You can actually use these. Like if you try to separate them, sometimes they kind of know that they're going somewhere, and they'll start squealing. So you use these, and you can kind of corner one or two or whatever. And yeah, and then this is what I did for the feeders. So I just did a 2x4 across these two posts, And I think in the other video I said how much. I think this was $200 and this was like right under $100, like $90 I think. But you could see there, I mean, we've been gone for like 5 days, and they ate a pretty good amount, but they're not, you know, they could have lasted another day or two. One thing with these, I would recommend going through and sometimes cleaning these out, so because they'll drink water and then they'll come back here and then it starts to clump up and then it won't like feed properly. So I just kind of go and take that stuff out and kind of clean it up a little bit, just so that it's flowing properly. And these things actually have it's like a little piece of metal that sits right here and it slides down, and you can adjust how much feed. But I just took that out because I mean, we're kind of raising them for meat, so I want them to eat as much as they can. This little guy actually is like a runt. We've tried to feed him as much as we could, and he's just like not growing at all. And so we might end up getting rid of him. My wife just wants to keep him as a pet, but I mean, he eats and he just, I don't know, he's not growing at all. Everybody else is growing good. They all got dewormed before we picked them up, so I don't think he has any worms or anything. But yeah, this is pretty much it. This is kind of the start of our little ranch setup that we're gonna have. Hopefully in the next couple of years, we want to sell our house. We want to build a couple little tiny houses, and me and my wife want to live out here. We're trying to do everything cash, so we're not we basically want to be a little more debt free than we are right now. Right now I have my own company, and I do painting and stuff, but I don't know, I've always liked kind of like, you know, ranching and stuff. My family's from Mexico, and we have like our family ranch in Chihuahua. But yeah, so hopefully in the future you guys will be able to see all the different changes that we do to our property, and then at some point we'll end up getting a well and you know, doing all that. But here in Utah, everything's super expensive. Like, I got quoted to dig for a well. That's not even the water rights, but just to dig was $60,000 to $100,000, and obviously that's not feasible right now. Like, that's a bunch of money. And they said just to test to make sure that there's water, it's $25,000, and that's a gamble basically. He said you might have water, you might not, you know. So we're gonna wait, but I think there is, because there's a cabin over there, and then there's a cabin over there, or 2 cabins over there, I think. But it's a little pricey because we are up a little, like on the top of a slight slope. Plus where we're at, so this is Fillmore. Like I said, I live 2 hours north of here. But there's a little town, it's called Fillmore, Utah, so it's not super big. There's no Walmarts, or I don't know what, there's like no Smiths, or, you know, depending on, I guess, where you're at, there's no like bigger supermarket, so people actually have to go either an hour south or an hour north to get anything. There's a couple gas stations, but for the most part it's just like, it's a super small town, but it's super beautiful out here. Like, we come camping, so we actually have like a couple of different fire pits. And then I built a shooting range on that end of the property last year or the year before. But yeah, maybe one day I'll do a video on that, so you guys can see that. But yeah, this is pretty much it for now. I'm hoping maybe this winter we'll be able to do a couple posts or whatever, because I want to get a buck and bull or some cattle. So I got to go through and start now and kind of do and build a bigger paddock for the cattle, and then also work on the chicken coop. We already have a chicken coop at my house, but we want to build one here, and then we're gonna end up moving our chickens out here. And then next spring, I actually want to get maybe 100 or 200 chickens, and then we actually want to just free range them, which if you do your research, you can actually lose a lot of chicks like that. But there's not, I mean, our pigs have been fine. That we haven't really seen any big predators. There is some wild rabbits out here, so I'm sure there's hawks and stuff. But we want them to be as free ranged and natural as possible. And there's actually a lot of, so these are all ant hills, and there's like a bunch of beetles here. Like there's a lot of bugs, which I think the chickens will be able to kind of take care of and eat a lot more naturally. I mean, we're still gonna have their like chicken feed and their water and stuff, so they'll always come back here because there's like literally no water, no ponds or anything anywhere close. So I'm hoping a lot of them will stay at least near. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any questions on how we built this, or maybe I'll go through and kind of do a couple of different videos on just the structural, or anytime we go to build stuff, I'll make a couple more videos. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, this bigger one you guys might not see her in the next video, unless I do the next video about when we go to process her, because one of my buddies is the one who ended up winning her. So we're gonna end up making carnitas. If you guys don't know what that is, YouTube it, it's really good. Or chicharrones, which chicharrones, it's like pork belly. It's kind of like what you make bacon, but you cook it in thicker strips, and you cook it in pig lard, and it's really good. It's a really good snack. But yeah, so yeah, see ya.